Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the machines that make our hearts race and our palms sweat. Today, we're talking about something that's got the entire automotive world buzzing like a hive of angry hornets. The 2026 Chevrolet Camaro SS 454. If you've been following muscle car news, you know this isn't just another refresh. It's Chevrolet channeling the raw, unfiltered soul of the classic big block era into a modern beast that's equal parts nostalgia and next-level innovation. Picture this, a car that nods to the legendary 454 cubic inch V8 monsters of the 70s but packs today's tech and fury under the hood. I've spent hours behind the wheel, poring over every curve and spec, and let me tell you, this Camaro doesn't just drive, it dominates. Stick around as we break it all down, from the aggressive stance that turns heads to the thunderous performance that pins you back. And yeah, we'll even chat prices and whether this is the pony car king you've been waiting for. If you're a gearhead like me, hit that like button now and let's rev into it, starting right up front, because that's where this car hits you first like a knockout punch from Mike Tyson in his prime. The 2026 Camaro SS 454's nose is pure predator, designed to devour asphalt and intimidate anything in its path. That massive, widened grille isn't just for show. It's a blacked-out honeycomb beast flanked by enormous air intakes that gulp down cool air like it's going out of style, feeding the supercharged heart inside. Chevrolet's iconic Bodhi emblem sits dead center, embossed in gleaming chrome that catches the sun just right, screaming heritage without apology. Flanking it are those razor-sharp LED matrix headlights, slim, angular slits that pierce the night with adaptive beams that adjust on the fly, scanning for deer or dipping for oncoming traffic without missing a beat. And don't get me started on the hood, it's got these functional dual heat extractors, sculpted vents that actually pull hot air from the engine bay during hard pulls, keeping tang in check while adding that factory hot rod vibe. The whole front fascia sits low and wide on 20-inch forged alloy wheels wrapped in sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, giving it a planted, ready 2-pound stance that's about 2 inches lower than the standard SS thanks to the recalibrated magnetic ride suspension. From bumper to brow, this front end measures in at over 75 inches wide, making it look like it's flexing before you've even turned the key. It's not subtle, folks, it's a statement that says, move over or get smoked. Swinging around to the side profile and oh man, this is where the Camaro SS 454 starts whispering sweet nothings about speed and style. The lines here are pure poetry in motion, starting with those razor-edged fenders that bulge just enough to hint at the 6.2-liter supercharged V8 lurking beneath, evoking the flared muscle of the 69 model, but smoothed out with modern aero wizardry. Run your hand along the doors and you'll feel the subtle character lines that sweep from the A-pillar back to the haunches, creating this illusion of constant forward thrust like the car's already leaning into a corner before you steer. The side mirrors are sleek carbon fiber accents, housing blind spot cameras that project right onto the digital dash for zero excuses on the highway. And those wheels? Staggered setup, 20s up front and massive 21s in the rear, finished in a satin black with orange caliper accents peeking through the spokes, a subtle nod to the 454's fiery heritage. The rockers are clad in brushed aluminum scuff plates that protect against daily dings, while the glasshouse tapers elegantly to a fastback roofline that's only 1.3 meters tall, keeping the center of gravity low for that razor-sharp handling we'll get to later. From the side, it's 188 inches of sculpted aggression, with just enough rake to the rear to promise the acceleration apocalypse. Park it next to a Mustang or Challenger, and it doesn't just compete, it owns the block. Now, flipping to the rear, and this is where the Camaro SS 454 bares its teeth and exhausts its fury. That tail is a wide, muscular haunch with a massive rear diffuser that's functional as hell, channeling air from under the car to create downforce that keeps the sticky end glued at triple-digit speeds. Quad exhaust tips 4 polished stainless steel cannons poke out aggressively, tipped in black for that stealth mode, and they roar with a Bassier supercharger whine that's engineered to rumble through your chest without waking the neighbors on idle. Above them, the taillights are these slim, smoked LED strips that wrap around the corners, forming a seamless C-shape that lights up like a digital heartbeat when you brake. The decklid spoiler is a factory ducktail piece, carbon fiber reinforced for lightness, adding 50 pounds of rear downforce without looking tacked on. And the badge? SS 454 in bold red lettering across the trunk. flanked by those heat extractor louvers that mirror the hood-up front symmetry done right. It's got a 13.3 cubic foot trunk that's surprisingly practical for a track weapon, with a power liftgate option that swings up silently. From back here, the Camaro looks like it's squatting, ready to launch, and trust me, when those taillights flicker on, every driver behind you knows they're in for a show or a shadow. Slide inside. And the cockpit of the 2026 Camaro SS 454 wraps around you like a custom glove, blending old-school driver focus with tech that's straight out of a sci-fi flick. Fire up the Recaro performance seats, heated, ventilated, and embroidered with that fiery 454 script, and they hug your sides with Alcantara bolsters that keep you planted through sweepers. Adjustable for 18 ways of comfort if you're the type to tweak every setting. The leather is perforated black with orange stitching accents, supple enough for long hauls but grippy for the track days. Up front, the dash is a dual cockpit masterpiece. A massive 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster that reconfigures on the fly full gauge view for spirited drives or minimalist nav4. Cruising flanked by analog tack and speedo dials that glow red at night, paying homage to the muscle car purists. The center stack is dominated by an 8-inch touchscreen running Chevrolet's latest infotainment 5.0 system, Lightning Fast, WRELES Apple CarPlay and Android Auto over-the-air updates, and a 9-speaker Bose premium audio that thumps harder than the V8 on cold starts. Climate controls are physical knobs below, tactile and intuitive, while the flat-bottom steering wheel, wrapped in thick leather with paddle shifters, feels like it's grafted to your palms. Rear seats? Yeah, they're there for helmets or grocery bags, tight for adults but fold flat for versatility. Headroom's generous at 38 inches up front, and the whole cabin's hushed with active noise cancellation that lets you hear the supercharger's spool without drone. It's not a luxury lounge, but for 650 horses of fury, it's the cockpit you dream of when it comes to performance. The 2026 Chevrolet Camaro S454 isn't playing games, it's rewriting the rulebook on what a muscle car can do in 2026. Under the hood sits that monster. 6.2-liter LT4 supercharged V8, displacing a true 454 cubic inches in spirit, pumping out 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque that's been tuned for instant response with a lighter Eaton supercharger and direct injection, paired to a slick 10-speed automatic with paddle shifters, or opt for the row your own. 6-speed manual with rev matching, it catapults from 0 to 60 in a blistering 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile in under 11.5 at 125 miles per hour. Launch control and line lock are standard, turning every stoplight into a drag strip, while the Brembo 6-piston front brakes with 6.3-inch rotors haul it down from 70 to 0 in 150 feet. The chassis? Built on the refined Alpha platform with performance-tuned magnetic ride dampers that stiffen in track mode or soften for tour. It corners flat with minimal body roll, pulling 1.0 grams on the skid pad thanks to those wide Michelins and a limited slip diff. I pushed it through canyons, and the electric power steering is telepathic weighted just right with zero artificial feel. Fuel economy? 16 city, 24 highway, not bad for a supercharged sledgehammer, and it's got launch telemetry that logs your best times via the My Chevrolet app. This isn't just fast, it's balanced, addictive, and screams for more. Of course, no dream machine comes free. So let's talk brass tacks on pricing for the 2026 Camaro SS 454. Base MSRP kicks off at around $65,395 for the coupe, which gets you the full supercharged glory, all the performance goodies, and that killer exterior kit. Convertible adds about $7,500 if you want the wind in your hair vibe. And fully loaded with the 1LE track package, think carbon ceramic brakes. Adjustable aero and Recaros, you're looking at $78,000 before options. Compared to the outgoing Uzza 1 at $75,000, it's a steal for the power bump, and incentives could shave off $2 to $3K at launch. Resale? Camaros hold value like gold, especially limited editions like this 454 Tribute. Factor in maintenance, premium fuel, and tires run $150 a pop, but for the grins per mile, it's priceless. If you're financing, expect 4.9% APR on 60 months, landing payments around $1,100 monthly. Bottom line, premium price for premium thrills, but worth every penny if raw American muscle is your addiction. If I'm being real with you, My suggestions for the Camaro SS 454 come down to who you are behind the wheel. Pros? Where do I start? The seismic power delivery that shakes the earth, the head-turning design that blends retro cool with futuristic edge, and that interior that's driver-centric without skimping on tech. It's a weekend warrior that doubles as a daily if you can live with the tight rear and iffy visibility over that long nose camera's help. But old-school charm has its trade-off.